Hello, this is SJ Talks of Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Men do not want women to talk about truth and accountability is what I want to talk about. They don't want us talking truth and accountability. Now, I also want to go into um, disclaimer, and before I get to that portion of the video, I will uh, um, I want to throw some disclaimer in and everything. Um, I um, I speak the truth on my channel. I'm just kind of trying to gather my thoughts right quick. I speak the truth on my channel, and um, I don't sugarcoat anything on my channel. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything on my channel, especially concerning the black community, because there's a lot of detrimental things that's going on in the black community. Our black communities all over the country is in shambles, and I can't afford to sugarcoat anything. I cannot pretend, come on here and pretend that everything is okay and everything is hunky dory in the black community and the black femicide rate is on 10 and all this. I can't pretend like those things are not happening. I don't know what else I'm supposed to. I mean, I do talk about other things on here, but I don't know why people expect me to come on here and not speak on things that's going on in the black community. Um, I'm a black woman, and I live in a black community, and I'm part of the black community. Okay, and I'm a content creator as well. So um, I'm gonna speak on different things. I'm gonna speak on different things, and particularly concerning um, black men and black women. And there's certain things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about. I am passionate about the black community, and I'm passionate about black women. You know, um, I just want things to be better for. I want things to be better for the black community as a whole, but I want things to be better with black women. I want things to be better with black women, and a lot of, like I said, the black femicide rate is on 10, and if people expect me to not talk about those things. um, if you don't if you don't want to hear me talking about black femicide or um, certain things, what's being done to us, what's being done to black women, um, by the hands of any race, black men, white men, any race of men. If you don't like me coming on here talking about men, um, then this is not the channel for you. Maybe you shouldn't be watching this channel, because I don't sugarcoat anything, and I don't do one-sided commentary. I'm not going to just talk about black women and issues with black women or whatever, or I'm not going to just be addressing black women about certain things and not address the black men. I'm not. That's. I'm not. I don't do that. I explain that in another video. I don't do one-sided commentary. I don't do that. Now, if you wanna, if you don't, I know. Say if you're a black man and you don't want to hear me talking about different things, because I'm not. I don't bash, and I don't talk in generalities. You know, I'm talking about a uh, Pacific men, black men that do, or men that do Pacific things. And if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If you're not that person that does these things, then let it fly. It's like every time I talk about a topic concerning women, homosexuals and stuff or whatever like that, why y'all get so offended by it? I don't understand it. Unless you are a homosexual, if you're not a homosexual, then hobo, let me make that very clear. I said hobo, H-B-O, H-B-H-O-B-O, hobosexual. Okay. Unless you are a hobosexual, then I'm not talking about you, obviously. I'm obviously not talking about you. It doesn't apply to you. Or I'm talking about um, the black femicide rate and black men unaliving black women and abusing black women in high numbers. I'm obviously not talking about you. If you don't do that, then I'm not talking about you. Okay? I'm talking about the black men that are doing these things. Okay? Whatever the issue is, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, if you don't do those things, then I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the black men that do those things. Okay? So I'm not on here to sugarcoat. I've made that very clear several times on my channel. I'm not on here to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm going to speak the truth about what's really going on in the black community, because as a content creator, I have that responsibility. And if you're a man and you don't want to hear me talk about homosexuals, or you don't want to hear me talking about baby daddies, or I'm just throwing some stuff out there, or you don't want me talking about cheaters, or black women haters, or whatever, whatever, you don't want me talking about those things, then you don't like to hear me talking about those things, then this is not the channel for you, because I don't do one-sided commentary. Now, if you want to hear a channel that just addresses black women's issues and not black men, what's her name? I can't think of her name now. Pink Book, something like that. There are channels on here that there are Pink Book Lessons. Yeah, she's one of the channels. But there are channels on here that do just talk about black women. And black women, that's all they talk about. They don't talk about the men. They don't address what's going on with the men in the community. They only address what's going on with black women in the community. Okay? They're doing basically one-sided commentary. And if that's what you want to hear, then go to their channel. Okay? Go to their channel. But I don't do one-sided commentary. I do both sides of the fence. So I'm not going to just address black women or talk about black women issues. I'm also going to talk about issues concerning black men as well, because there are issues on both sides. And I have done videos talk about issues with black women, and I've also done issues with black men. But when I do those, they don't have a problem with me doing the videos addressing the black women. But then when I do the videos talking about the black men, all of a sudden I'm bashing, I'm bitter, and I'm just merely speaking the truth. And if I do a video on a black femicide case, if I'm doing a video on a black femicide case, and I get passionate about those cases, so I might say things that I might say certain words that y'all might be not happy with, because I'm upset. I'm saying it because I'm upset. I'm upset. Like, for example, the one where the father burnt the house up with his children. The black father that burnt the house up with his children in it, unalived his children. I was doing that video. And I said some choice words about him, because I was very, very upset. I'm human. And I was very, very upset about that. So I did say some choice words. If you don't like hearing me saying, when I'm talking about these black femicide cases, if you don't like me hearing me say these words, then once again, don't click on the video. Don't click on the video. Don't watch it. But I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about certain. I don't talk about them all because there's so many of them. It's hard to keep up with them all. But I'm going to talk about certain ones, you know. But regardless of who's doing it, whether it's a white man or a black man, it don't matter. I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so if you don't want to hear me, if I'm doing a case that has a black man, that involves a black man, and I'm saying certain words, it's because I'm upset. You know, I'm very upset, and that's why I'm saying these words. And I don't mince words. When I do those videos, I'm not going to mince words. So, but if you don't want me to hear me say those things, then you shouldn't click on the video. Okay? Because I'm going to speak the truth. I'm going to tell it like it is. And I'm human, and these cases do upset me, and it makes me angry. It hurts me, and it makes me angry. And I'm going to say certain things that you may not be cool with. But I'm talking about this particular man. I'm not talking about the whole race of men. I'm talking about this particular man that did this particular thing. Okay? But if you ain't trying to hear it, because I know all you men like to stick together and all these kind of things, and whether y'all do right or wrong. But I'm just this disclaimer, you know. And I've said that several times on my channel throughout various videos. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything on here. And I'm sorry if you feel like it's bashing, but I'm not bashing, speaking the truth. You know, there's plenty of black women on here that have bashed black men. You know, name calling and things like that. You know, if I do, I'm talking about one Pacific black man, not the whole race, and that's the difference. I'm talking about one Pacific black man that did one Pacific thing to a woman. I'm not talking about the whole race. Okay, so I don't know if that's getting twisted or what, but yeah, not gonna do that. Not gonna do that on here. And then another thing that people, I wasn't gonna address that, but now that it pops up in my head, I want to address it. People that said that, you know, because I say that I'm a Christian, or I'm trying to be a Christian, I don't know why people, and that probably should be a whole nother video, but just I'm gonna say a little tidbit in here. I don't know why people expect for Christians to be perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. And I'm a human being, and so I'm not perfect. I don't know why people want to put Christians up on a pedestal and expect them to be so perfect. But I'm sorry, I cannot live up to your unrealistic expectations. I cannot live up to your unrealistic expectations of Christians expecting them to be like Jesus Christ. I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm imperfect. I'm imperfect every day of the week. I have to I have to repent every day, just like everybody else. And I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna always say the right things or whatever. I try to do the best I can. I try to be the best person that I can, and I try to be the best that I can. But I'm tired of hearing, "Oh, you should be, you're a quit. You should." No. I am a human being. I am a believer. Okay, I am a believer, and I'm trying to be a footstep follower to Christ. I'm trying. Keyword, trying. That's all any of us can ever do is try. Okay? I am not perfect. I am human. Okay? Stop having unrealistic expectations of Christians. Just because someone says that they believe in God, they profess their beliefs in God, and they're trying to live by Bible standards. Stop putting them up on a pedestal and expecting them to be this perfect human being like Jesus Christ was. I'm not Jesus. I can't even come close to being like Jesus Christ. I can't come close to being like Jehovah God, because their hot thinking is a million times higher than mine. So I can't even come close to being like them, or anybody else can come close to being like them. I fall short every day of the week. We fall short in our thinking. So we have to repent daily. I got to repent daily just like everybody else. And sometimes I just tell God, I need help. I need help. You know, I just call out and say, I need help. And so being a Christian doesn't mean that you're perfect, or you're living. It just means that you are consciously trying to do what's right. You're consciously trying to be a footstep follower of Jesus Christ. You're trying to do what's right, and you're trying to do what God says that you're supposed to do. And that's all that any of us can do. But does it mean that you're perfect? No. I can't live up to your unrealistic expectations of what you expect a Christian to be. I can't live up to that. And most of the time people do have unrealistic. They expect for Christians to be so perfect. And I'm sorry, I can't live up to those. It's too much pressure for me, and I can't live up to that. I can't live up to your unrealistic expectations. I can't. And that goes for everybody out there. I can't. Because I'm going to fall short every day of the week. Okay? I'm going to always miss it. Okay? So that's why I have to talk to God. And that's a personal relationship. And it ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. And that's why I have to talk to God and ask him to help me and repent and this and that and the other. But that's between me and God. Because that's a personal relationship. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. You know. So throw that out there too, because I'm tired of hearing that. And just basically I want to talk about men not wanting women to speak truth and accountability. When it comes to truth and accountability, they only want to apply that to women, particularly black women. But they don't want us black women to speak on a truth and accountability when it comes to the men. When it comes to black men, they don't want us to speak on truth, and they don't want us holding them accountable. We should speak the truth of what's going on, particularly when we're trying to educate our sisters. We're trying to educate women, our younger counterparts, to avoid some of the pitfalls some of the things that we went through, and some of the mistakes that we made. We're trying to school them to help them to avoid some of those same pitfalls. We're trying to school them to prevent them from going down the same road and doing some of the same things. There's a lot of women on here, a lot of women content creators, or black women content creators that's always educating women, teaching women about, okay, these are the men that you should avoid, these are the types that you should avoid, and this and that and the other. And men have a problem with us speaking the truth about they think it's okay when men come on there and talk about black women being baby mamas, and that's the main one right there, single mothers and this and that and the other. And they can talk about all those things till the cows come home, and on top of that, bash and say that we hit the wall at 30 and up, and all these things. It's okay for men to come on here and just dump all those things on black women, but then when we come on here and speak about some truth that's going on with certain black men in the community, then it's an issue. We get called bitter, and we get accused of having a bad attitude, and we get called bitter. It's like, but everything that, it's like they can dish it out, but they can't take it. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. It's okay for them to dish it out, but they can't take it. Okay, 3 times I said that. And they expect us to just listen, take everything that they throwing at us, whether it's verbally, mentally, physically, whatever. Take everything that they're throwing at us and shut up. Just take it and shut up. Don't say nothing about it. Don't speak up about it. There's a lot of misogyny out there. It's misogyny is what it is. We're supposed to, whatever y'all say about us, or whatever y'all throw out there, we're supposed to just take it and shut up and not say anything. We're not supposed to retort back. We're not supposed to try to defend ourselves. We're not supposed to speak out about it, what's being done to us, whether it's verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically. We're supposed to just take it and blame ourselves and just shut up. That's what they expect us to do. Women, they don't want us women to stand up for ourselves. They have an issue with us educating other women, younger women. And I think the reason why they have an issue with us doing that is because they don't want younger women to be in the know. If younger women are in the know and actually listen to us and take heed to what we're saying and apply it to their lives, then that's a percentage of women that they won't be able to get over on, because that's their go-to. Their go-to is the younger women, so they can mold them and manipulate them and get them to go along with whatever it is that they're doing. And if we're preventing that, then it's a problem. It's an issue. They don't want them to have too much knowledge. So that they don't want the younger women to have too much knowledge. And then it's an issue when we stand up for ourselves and speak out for ourselves and each other. Because we're bitter. We do that. We're bitter and we have bad attitudes. So what it boils down to is misogyny. It's misogyny. It's misogyny. You don't want women speaking up for themselves. You don't want women speaking up for themselves. You don't want women educating each other. You don't want women speaking out on things. You want us to just take whatever it is that y'all dishing out and just shut up. Just shut up. Okay? Shut up and take it. And we're supposed to just take it. That's what these men expect. That's what they expect. It's just like the same principle applies to racism. When black people talk about racism, everything is, systematic racism and everything. Okay, this thing's been going on since the beginning of time. Okay, it just takes on different forms as time goes on. And when we stand up as black people and we speak out about it, particularly on social media, when we stand up and we speak out about it, we call it out, and we speak out about it, and we try to educate other black people, white people don't like it. Whatever it is that they're dishing out, we're supposed to just take it. Shut up and take it. They want us to shut up and take it. Because when we do speak out, what do we get? Number one, we get called racist. We get deflection. And they get angry at us. It's what white fragility is what it is. They don't want us to speak out. They want us to just take whatever it is being dished out and shut up. Shut up. Don't speak about it. Don't talk about it. They don't want us talking about it. They just want us to take it and shut up. So it's literally the same thing. It's the same thing with misogyny. Y'all want us to just take whatever it is that y'all dishing out and shut up. Don't speak about it. Don't talk about accountability. Don't talk truth. Don't try to educate each other. Women shouldn't be trying to educate each other. Just shut up and take whatever it is we're dishing out to y'all. It's okay for us to call y'all over the, hit the wall and, bad attitudes, bitter, whatever it is that y'all, it's okay for y'all to dish all that out and throw all that out to us on a consistent basis. And we're supposed to just take it and shut up and not say anything about it and not speak out about it, including on top of that, abuse, physical abuse. And we're not supposed to speak out about if a black woman gets unalived. Shut up about it. Don't speak up about it. Because she deserved that and she had it coming to her. Yes, that's the mentality. That's what I pick up here. That's the mentality. She chose the wrong man. So that's why she got what she got. Yeah. That's the mentality. That's when I see men retorting back to me when I talk about those things, that's what I'm getting. That's the message that I'm getting. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. She chose the wrong one. Like with the video where the black man, I did the black man burning up his kids in the house. Yeah, I had some men coming in my comment section saying that she pretty much had it coming because she chose the wrong man. What woman is going to purposely go out and choose a man that's going to burn her kids up in the house? How was she supposed to know that? Yeah, because we're also expected to be psychics. We're expected to be psychics and be able to predict what a man is going to do ahead of time before he does it. Yeah. Lots of expectations. We're held to such a high standard in the black community. We're held at such an unrealistic high standard in the black community. They want us to be psychic and be able to predict what someone's going to do before they do it. They want us to, even though this person is a totally different person when we meet them, they want us to be able to know that this person is going to change down the road. They want us to be able to know that ahead of time. See? Misogyny takes on so many different forms to the point to where us women are held at such a ridiculously high standard that none of us can ever live up to those standards. Women are not psychics. How can we predict what someone's going to do? And it's not wanting us to hold the men accountable. It's not wanting us to hold the men accountable. That's what it is. See, it's okay for us to be held accountable all day long, throw the accountability at us all day long. And we should hold ourselves accountable when we, all of us need to hold ourselves accountable when we make a bad judgment. But the problem is that they want us to take all the accountability, but don't want their brethren to take any accountability. All the accountability is being dumped on us. So misogyny, because of the misogyny is so terrible in our community, sexism, misogyny is so terrible in our community, we're held at such a ridiculously high standard. And the bar keeps getting moved. The bar keeps getting moved. And you want, one minute you want this, you say you want this, and then You change your mind and then you say you want something else, and the women, our black women, are not meeting those standards, then we're trash. We're no good. We're the worst women on the planet, because the bar keeps moving. They keep raising the bar, keeps moving. They keep moving the bar. They keep moving the goalposts, so to speak. So it's we throw everything at y'all. We can say what we want and do what we want to y'all, but y'all can't say nothing. Just shut up and take it. Y'all can't say nothing about it. Well, that's not gonna go down on my channel. I'm gonna speak out about it. I'm gonna speak out about it. You know, and it's not coming from a place of bitterness. It's coming from a place of truth. I'm going to educate my younger sisters, whether they listen or not. A lot of times they don't listen. I'm going to educate them, hoping that maybe I can get one that will listen to me and avoid some of the same pitfalls, avoid from some things happening to her and stuff like that. And then the black femicide rate. That's another thing I want to say before I leave, before the black femicide rate. Is that the number one thing that's always being said is, well, she chose the wrong person. But what about the cases where there's lots of cases where women are just simply turning down a man's advances, which women have the right to do, and he unalives her because she turned down his advances. I haven't even done a video on that. She gets unalived. That's becoming more and more common. That's happening more and more now in our community. A woman turns down a man's advances, and she gets unalived. She's not even dating the guy. Don't even know the guy. And then there's another case I heard. It's like black women are being unalived. Just unaliving black women, random black women that they don't know. They're just unaliving, and that's the scary part. That's the scary thing. There's no relationship or nothing like that. I just heard a case of a young lady that she was a doctor. I think she was a doctor. I was just in tears. She went into an elevator. She just simply went into an elevator with a black man, and he unalived her, and he threw her in the trash. All she did was go into the elevator. Now, what do you got to say about that? She didn't know him. She wasn't dating him, didn't have a relationship with him. She didn't even know the man. She went into the elevator, and he unalived her and threw her in the trash. And now her mother has to bury her daughter. And more of this is happening. And just she was so beautiful. She was beautiful. She had a lot going for herself. She was a doctor. Her mother said that she had a beautiful heart and everything. She wanted to help people and take care of people. And this is what he did to her. She didn't even know the man. Now, what do you have to say about that? So there's increasingly more cases of black women being unalived that have no prior contacts with these men. It's because they turned down the man's advances, or there is a hatred. There's a certain percentage of black men out there that hate black women, and they are unaliving them. And the numbers are increasing. And I'm going to talk about it. And I think black men should be talking about it too. Black male content creators have a responsibility to talk about that too. And if you guys don't talk about it, that's why I'm always on Umar Johnson. He did mention it. I got to give him credit because he did mention it in one of his videos that he did over the last 2 weeks, I think. He did mention it. He did mention black femicide, but he's not talking about it enough. He mentioned it. It was a mention, but he's not talking about it. He's not addressing the black men about black femicide. He's not going out of his way to address black men about black femicide. And this is a man that claims to be passionate about the black community. This is a man that claims to love black people. This is a man that claims he's against interracial relationships, that he's strictly for black love, which is great, but will not address his brothers about black femicide. He will not do it. And so that's the issue that I have with Umar Johnson. I love him, and I love a lot of his commentary, but that is the main issue that I have with him. He did mention it over a video, like I said, he did over the last 2 weeks. He did mention it, but he just mentioned it. Okay, he needs to really, really, really address the men about black femicide. This is a serious epidemic in our community. It's not being covered on nationwide media because nationwide media does not care about black women. Thank God to the content creators here on YouTube that are coming out and putting these cases out there, just like the one about the elevator. I didn't know that. And some of them, I'm so scared to click on them because it's horrific. It's emotionally draining. But I thank God for the content creators that are on here. They are covering these cases, because otherwise we wouldn't know anything about it. If they didn't cover these cases, then we wouldn't know anything about it, because a lot of these cases, they don't. Some of the one where the white man dismembered the young 19-year-old black woman, I think that did make nationwide news, and I'm glad it did. I think it did. But a lot of the cases are not making mainstream media. It's just making their local news, and it's not making the mainstream media, so we don't really know about it, And so I'm glad that these content creators are talking about it, putting these cases out there. And I talk about certain ones when God put on my heart to talk about certain specific ones. I will do it. But yeah. And that's what black male content creators have a responsibility to address black femicide. But they don't do it. They don't address it. And it's because of misogyny. The reason why they don't address it is misogyny. They blame the women for it. And if black men continue to not hold each other accountable, I talked about that too. If black men continue to not hold each other accountable, then we're literally going to we're genociding ourselves. We're going to genocide ourselves out, pretty much. You think white people care? Of course they don't care. We're going to genocide ourselves out if we as a race of people don't get it together. Okay, we're literally going to genocide our own people. That's what's going to happen. Because when you unalive the women in the community, and the children are our future. When you unalive the children and the women in the community, we're the life givers. We bring forth life. So we can't populate. We're not going to be able to populate. And the black community is going to pretty much die out. We're literally going to genocide. We talk about other races of people trying to genocide us, but we're going to wind up doing that to each other. So it's very, very vital that we do hold each other accountable. And that accountability should not be one-sided. It shouldn't be one-sided. It needs to be both sides. Not just one side. Not just holding the women accountable, but the men need to hold each other accountable. And that is a major issue in the black community. It always has been. So hit me up in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are. I will block you if I need to. But I just want to make it clear, you know, I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing on here. I'm not. And I'm sorry if you think I'm bitter or whatever. My intent is not to bash, but my intent is to speak the truth about what's going on in our community. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's like that YouTuber Charlie Boo. Charlie, he got some numbers behind his name. His name is Charlie. He calls himself Charlie Boo. I think he's hitting on 1 million subscribers. He literally drives around to the different neighborhoods. He drives around to the different neighborhoods, but he goes to hoods throughout the country. I think he's originally from Detroit, and he does Detroit, but he goes to cities all over country, and he drives. I would suggest that you check his channel out. His channel is a real eye opener because it lets you know what's going on in black communities across the country that you physically would not be able to go to. It's a real eye opener. When I watch his videos, it's a real eye opener. You get a chance to see what's going on in black communities across the country. It's kind of sad. Well, anywho, people accuse him. He gets accused of, why are you always driving around in the hood? You know, why don't you show some of the good neighborhoods? Why are you always driving around in the hood all the time? See, people get mad at him for always driving around in the hood, but what he's doing is she's showing you what's going on in these black communities across the country. He's waking black people up is what he's doing. And he's doing it in a very subtle way. He's trying to wake black people up. He don't never speak. And sometimes he does interview the locals. Sometimes he does do interviews with the locals, but when he does his driving videos, he don't say a word. And he's trying to wake black people up is what he's trying to do. I know what he's trying to do. Because his videos are an eye-opener when he goes into the various different communities. And there's some people that get mad at him because they say, well, why are you always driving around in these hoods? Why don't you go to the good neighborhoods? Because he's trying to wake his people up. That's why. Okay? I know exactly why he's doing it. And then there's another one here. They call him Hood Time. It's Hood Time. It's another channel on here. It's a copy channel, really. It's called Hood Time, and they do the same thing. I highly recommend you guys go watch those two channels because it's a real eye opener, and it lets you know what's going on in these black communities across the country. I watch some of these videos and some of these cities. Like, wow, I'm not going to complain about my city anymore. I mean, because some of these places are whoa. Yeah, some of these places are pretty rough, you know. But it's a real eye opener. So yeah. So hit me up in that comment section, and hit that like, subscribe, and share. You new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing, taking me over the 4K mark. I'm heading towards the 5K mark. Thank you so much. Keep rocking with me. Thank you so much. Get me to that 1,000 subscriber, 100,000 subscriber, 100,000. I'm so used to saying that. Get me to that 100,000 subscriber mark so I can get my plaque. Get me to that. I know that's a long ways off, but oh well. Anything is possible. A girl can dream. Okay. Thank you if you made it to the end of this video. I love you guys. Be safe and stay blessed.